these comics so old. Didn't know you sold your soul, and I think you should have retired 7 specials ago. How about you act your age? Say to me, well, that's okay, cause once I quit, that's it. Maybe remix my hits one day. That's okay. We need that new punchline. Take it from me while you just justify why stealing from a younger comic is always fine. See my Joker kill Tony, or one from my homies. Well, maybe y'all should just start acting your age. Get off stage. Na 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 na.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest moment in podcasting history. The anti-George Carlin podcast. This podcast is the cat's meow, dude. This is the cat's meow. This is a very sad episode, but we're going to dive directly into the deep end of the pool if I do this correctly. And I'll be able to expand upon these intrusive thoughts, which are sad, to be honest. It's the state of comedy. But I want to first start out with a common misconception of the first law of thermodynamics, or the 6th commandment, which is thou should not murder. Basically, people read it as that. That's a huge incorrect interpretation. The actual interpretation is thou canst kill. And I have a bit I haven't done in a while, but if Trump was assassinated that day, he would have been more alive dead than he ever was alive. You can't kill literally. You can. If you're, you can murder, sure. I mean, but my audience, we're not, I doubt there's any real gangsters out there slitting people's throats and cutting people up. And, I think we're all relatively normal people that appreciate comedy, the arts, right? So we'll stay on that. We'll stay on the other side that, like, yeah, of course you can murder people. When's the last time you murdered someone? Okay, you don't? Okay. Then let's just erase that. Thou canst kill is literally, the meaning is you can't get hurt. I wish young people were taught this, because what young people are taught in high school is you take a census of who's the most popular, which means nothing. What other people think of you means nothing. And we're telling kids this. I do a bit where we can't even get the lights right. They have those weird fluorescent light bulbs in 2025. What is going on? That's pretty much child abuse in 2025, but you can't get hurt by the outer. A business doesn't fail from the outer. It fails from the inside. And people can think whatever they want of you. The hurt's originating from your own consciousness. It's not coming from the outside. I wish young people were taught that. Instead, who's the most popular? I got class clown. That hurt my feelings. I'm playing. I didn't care. I didn't even care. I didn't even want to take the picture. Who's got the biggest cleft chin? Who cares? Why is this important? Who's the most popular? Well, I don't know what that means, first of all. So it means nothing, and it means nothing to everybody. There's no one that goes, no, we should really take a census of who's the most popular. We need this. We need this in our high schools. No one's saying that. Just like the sad comedian on his 8th special, going on his 9th special. Why is this one special? Why is this one special and the rest aren't special? Or why do we have to watch the 9th one? Nothing sadder than a comedian this in his 60s doing a 10th special. That's the saddest thing to me. I go, oh, dude, take it from George Carlin. You have to space them out when you get old. Do one every 10 years, or it means nothing to nobody. I'm not trying to be, I really don't want to ruin things for people, but it really shows where their heyday was, which was 1970, when they had planned obsolescence and you became addicted to these businesses and corporations. I was talking to a guy who does furnaces, steam furnaces, which are antiquated. And there was a company in the 80s that made fittings, and they made them just slightly off. So you have to call this company to get new fittings every time. You become addicted to this company. This is planned obsolescence. The most hilarious one is the Pinto. Obviously, everyone knows this one. If you're younger, Pinto was a car where they had these this $1 billion corporation essentially said, we're going to make more money, $1 billion, if we just don't say anything about getting rear-ended. There can be an explosion and you can die. So we're just gonna hush on this one. People, so what? People can die. We're gonna make $1 billion after the lawsuits. We've calculated this. We've calculated the risks. That's planned obsolescence. Instead of replacing the engines, it was more cost effective to kill people. That's not even a punchline. That's just scary. And that's typical of what you see now in the comedy world. And I got into comedy. This is going on my first year in October. I knew I could do it. I knew I could do comedy. As I'm getting into the abyss, right? And I knew nothing. I was so naive going into the comedy world. And this year's been a trip, man. It's really been a trip. Especially seeing how the pie is made. You don't want to meet your heroes. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to meet your heroes. And then when you realize what it is, you go, oh man, this is just like any other thing. What am I saying here? What I'm saying is there's a bunch of old comics. There's a bunch of old comics that are on 10 specials, 11 specials, giving opportunities only to other comics in their 60s that are 11 specials, 12 specials. This dude has 13 specials. That's too many specials, if you ask me. Why is this one special? So that's what kind of happened. And most people think Nero kind of tried to kill Christianity. The truth behind this is, down the line, Christianity almost got wiped out. How did it get wiped out in the Roman? So this is what happened. They made Christianity the state. It's the official religion of the Roman Empire. If you live in Rome, you have to abide by the state elected religion. And what they did was elect state officials, and they became old. And Christianity almost got killed by kindness. I'm not making this up. Look this up. When it became when Christianity was the state elected official religion of Rome, these people became old, and it's kind of like a teacher with tenure. That's essentially what happened. And you don't have people thinking for themselves, and now you're addicted to this one-sided, weird. It's like the Pilgrims coming over and then hanging Quakers, right? It's the same concept. We have one idea. You have ideas. Oh, we have to hang. We have to burn this person. Burn them alive. And that's what they did to people back then. And we could be living in worsened times than that. Of course. Thank God we got through that. Thank God for the first law of thermodynamics and the sixth law of the Ten Commandments. Thou canst kill. You can't kill Christianity. You can't kill comedy. Hurt arises from where? Inside. So this is my whole thing. It's like, I'm just watching it as like an observer. I'm kind of like, there's a field, comedy field, football. Let's just say football. They're all playing football. Football! I said that too many times. They're all in the football stadium playing the game. And I'm like in the bleachers, and I'm looking at the game being played. I'm like, this is weird. This is a really strange phenomenon. And what happens is comics that are younger, maybe there may be more comics. I don't know if this is 100% solely the reason. There may be an increased proportion of comics too. That's definitely a possibility. However, the 60-year-old comics on their 10th, 11th special, only doing stuff with other comics in the 10th and 11th special, sometimes not even doing things with other, they're in. It's like a band from the 70s or 80s. They're on their 8th record, and they have like one song on that record that's any good, and they just keep putting them out because they're making money. They're making money. How much? 50 million for this next special? Yeah, I'll do it. I'm addicted. That's what happens. Trust me, when I'm 45 or 46 and I go, I can't rock out, dude. I can't do it, dude. I'm old. I'm not gonna lie to these people. I'm 47. I can't do this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go, dude. Or I'll be on stage going, listen, I'm 47. Okay, do you know what that means? I can't. I'm not going to give you all this energy. Like, you have to be honest at some point. Joe Rogan's just doing everything he can to, shooting himself up with, he's injecting himself with chemicals and hormones, and he's trying to play. He's like the $10,000 man, dude. That's what he's riding this one. He's riding the rails off this cart, dude. He loves comedy, and good for him. And I'm proud of him. Don't stop the podcast to Joe Rogan. He's not even someone I'm talking about. He's actually young. He's actually on the ball with most stuff, I think. As a youngster, dude. I'm a youngster. I'm 31. Who am I talking about? Be specific. Be impeccable with your word. Who are you talking about? You have to gossip right now in front of everybody. Okay. There's too many now, and I don't want to. I'm bleeping all these out. I'm bleeping all this out. I have to take these names out because I don't want to degrade comedy in any way. Because it can't get killed. And who am I to say that these people are doing something? Keep rocking in the free world, dude. That's what's up. That's what's up. Keep on rocking in the free world. That's all I want, dude. The free world, dude. A boy can dream, right? A boy can dream. Anyways, spot on stuff, dude. Hitting the nail on the head here. No big deal. Like always. Best podcast in the world, dude. Maybe not the funniest podcast today, but you got some inside scoop, dude, which is sometimes cooler, to be honest. Way cooler than making people laugh. You're like, oh, dude, that's interesting, too. Yeah, it is.
All these comics so old, didn't know you sold your soul, and I think you should have retired 7 specials ago. How about you act your age? Say to me, well, that's okay, cause once I quit, that's it. Maybe remix my hits one day. That's okay. We need that new punchline. Take it from me while you just justify why stealing from a younger comic is always fine. See my Joker kill Tony, or one from my home